Hello, this is a video from ARU Library on how to compile your Cite Them Right Harvard reference list. So I'm going to show you how to construct a reference for a book, for a journal article, and for a website, and then how to sort those references into alphabetical order in Word. So at Anglia Ruskin, we use Harvard style, but we use a specific type called Cite Them Right Harvard style. So the first thing I need to do is to log into the Cite Them Right website. You can find this on the library website, or you can just search for it. When I log in, I then have to click on Login via your institution. And then I'll have to type in Anglia Ruskin or choose it if it's already selected. And at this point, you might be asked for your normal username and password. Once I'm on the platform, I can choose my referencing style, and then I can go to Harvard. Now, Cite Them Right gives you guidance on how to reference all these different types of resources. These are the top headings, but these are broken down further in the list below. The first thing I want to reference is a printed book. So for each of the different types of sources you might want to reference, on Cite Them Right, it gives you a little bit of guidance at the top. Then it gives you the citation order, so the order of elements that need to go in your full reference for that source. Then it gives you some in-text citation examples, some reference list examples as well. What I'm going to use is over on the right here. It's called a U try box, and this is a template for any type of information that you want to reference. So this one is for a book, and all I need to do is find that book information, overwrite the different elements here, and then I can copy and paste that into my reference list. So the book I want to reference is called Blooming Flowers, and what I need to do is scroll down a few pages in to what we call the title page. And on the title page, you'll see the title repeated, and also you'll get the author of the book, and also in this case, you get the publisher too. Sometimes you have to look on the back of that page in order to get the date of publication that you're going to need to put in your full reference, and sometimes the publisher is on this page too. Now I have that information, I can start to fill in the template. So I'm going to put the author's surname, just their initial of their first name, the date of publication, the title in italics. If this was a second edition or above, then I would put in the edition details, but as it's a first edition, I do not need to do this, so I can delete that. If you do have a second edition or above, you can look over to the left and you can get an example how exactly to format that. Finally, I need the publisher. I can now copy this and paste that into my reference list. The next thing I want to reference is a journal article. So back on Cite Them Right, I'm going to use the breadcrumb trail to go back to the home page of the Harvard Guide, and then I'm going to scroll down to find journal articles. So most journal articles are available online. There is an example on how to reference a print article, but the online versions are further down. So you just scroll down to these and find the one that fits the journal article that you have. Most journal articles have what we call a DOI, so this is a unique number, and the article that I'm going to use has one of these. Now this time, instead of using the U try box on the side, I'm actually just going to take a copy of the reference list example. I'm going to go and grab an instant citation, and then I'm just going to compare those to make sure I've got the Cite Them Right Harvard style. Now that I've copied the example in, I'm going to go to my journal article and I'm going to pick up an instant citation. If you're using the template instead, the information you need is usually at the top of a journal article, and this is the author's name, the year of publication, the title of the article, and also the journal that it's published in at the top here, Asia Pacific Business Review. You normally need volume, issue, page numbers, and if we have a DOI, this DOI number just here. So because I'm going to get an instant citation, what I'm looking for is somewhere that says cite this article, citation, etc. So I'm going to click on cite this article. So you'll see there's different ways to reference. The closest one for me is Harvard, but it does differ a little bit from Cite Them Right Harvard. So what I'm going to do now is copy this to the clipboard, go to my Word document, paste that in and compare the two. So from my comparison, I can see that it's mostly correct. The only change I need to do is add available at and put the full DOI website here. Now that I've copied that across, I can get rid of the example from Cite Them Right, and I have a perfectly formatted journal article reference. There's lots of online tools that will create instant references for you, and there's one inbuilt into library search, a citation button next to each item. There's a citation option in Google Scholar. With all of these, there might be errors, and you need to just make sure that they match Cite Them Right Harvard style by using the Cite Them Right guide. Also, when you copy and paste over, sometimes italics fall off, fonts change, even the color of your writing may have changed. So just check it matches the rest of your reference list so it looks neat and tidy. The final thing I'm going to reference today is a website. So for websites, I need the author's information. So I have an author just here. Just to note that often with websites, you might not have an individual author or group of authors. So if this is the case, you would reference the organization of the website. So if I didn't have Crawford there as my author, I'd have BFI instead. We're going to need a year of publication, the title of the web page, and then the URL. In addition to the URL, we're also going to need the date that we access the website. So back on Cite Them Right, as I did before, I'm going to go back along the breadcrumb trail, and this time I'm going to go to digital and internet and websites and web pages. If I didn't have a named author, I would use the organization and select this example, but I do have an author for this one, so I'm going to select web pages with individual authors. Again, you get the same type of information, your in-text full reference list examples, and the only thing that's slightly different from a book is instead of publisher, we're going to have that URL, the web address that we visited, and also the date that we looked at it. Now I'm ready to fill this in with my author Crawford. So for year of publication, if you can't find it clearly at the top of the article or the web page, look at the bottom and there should be an up-to-date copyright page or maybe a page that says when the website was last updated. Once complete, again, I can copy that, go to my Word document and paste the details. Make sure everything matches. And then finally, what I need to do is put this in alphabetical order. And if you've got a lot of references, this can save a lot of time. To do this, all I do is highlight the references, make sure there's a space between each one. Then I go to paragraph in Word, A to Z, leave everything how it is and press OK. And that will put that into alphabetical order. I'm just going to space these out again so they look nice and neat. And it's always worth just proofreading your reference list and saving a bit of time to do that. So I hope that's been helpful. Thanks for watching.